Hey everybody, it's me, it's your good buddy Thorne, and today we're going to talk about creating a Highland Orc for Alliance Larp. We ready? Let's go.
Vakna dicko edelige drenge, de høyre nykken på havets skred, for de sovet i for lenge. Okay, so today we're going to start our little series on creating that Highland Orc for Alliance Larp. Jarvis and I have been talking about this for a little bit of time. And when the High Orc characters came into being as a player character race, we took a look at it and we decided, yeah, that's kind of what we want to do. We already got all the Highland stuff, and doing an orc is a little different. It's a High Orc. The racial packet is on the website. You can take a look at that. It's not very many pages, and basically lays out what they are. It's pretty interesting. According to the racial packet, the Highland Orc, or the High Orcs, are clan oriented. They place clan honor above everything else. There's not very many of them out in the normal world. So when they do meet another High Orc, they immediately kind of trade notes and become pretty good friends almost immediately, because there's not that many of them. So the clan-based society, and honor above all, and small, and the civilized races consider them absolute barbarian and not very intelligent, and all this stereotypes, if you will, really kind of tied into the Highlanders, or the Scottish Highland clans of the 1600s and 1700s. And so when Jarvis and I talked about it coming back from Nationals this spring, we got to laughing pretty hard and said, yeah, we really need to do Highland Orcs. So that was the seed of this insanity we're going to talk about. Now, with that in mind, we came up with kind of a concept of what we wanted them to look like. And very, very roughly, with this little quick sketch that I did, we do want them in the kilts, because it's just, that screams Highland. With hose, heavy boots, you've got a waist belt, and with a dirk and a sporran, and either great kilt or the small kilt, and like a vest or something, because really, to be the orc, the racial characteristics are very specific. You got to have green skin, okay, yeah, and you got to have a heavy jaw and tusks, and there's different ways to do that. So that's kind of our limitations towards building this character. And wearing the kilt, you do have a bit of flesh tone, and so that has to be green. And rather doing body paint on all of it, we thought, is there a different way to do it? And then we ran into these fellow players at Alliance Larp Nationals who were High Orcs, and they had these morph bodysuits on with latex masks and prosthetics, and they looked absolutely brilliant. And so that's kind of where we want to go with developing what the orc looks like from the skin out. So we talked to these gentlemen, and they told us this is where we got our bodysuits from, and we did pick up some. Now, this was the Morphsuit that we got, or that I got, and I've tried it on once. Let me pull the leg back out. I just took it off again. And there's some really nice stuff into it, and then there's some really crappy stuff into it. There's a seam rip that I got to repair, which shouldn't take too long. And then on the back is printed this Morphsuit label. And then the head itself isn't quite what we want. I mean, we don't want this head to show. We're going to do a different head. But let me put this on and show you what it looks like, just the suit. I'm going to sew the leg up first, and then I'll show you the suit, okay? Let me be right back. So, here I have in the Morphsuit. I can't quite get the zipper all the way up in the back, and the zipper coming from here down is already ripped out, but that's okay, because I don't want this head on here. It does look pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. But the head, we don't want the head on here. And I did sew up the thigh, and that's okay. The suit is pretty light. And so I don't know how long it's going to last out on the field. But then again, this was about $38 to $50. I can't remember how much we paid for it. But like these things, these have got to go. I'm probably going to cut this off right about right here. And you can see from the back, I can't quite reach the zipper, so I need to do some stuff. And you can see where this head zipper should normally be all the way tight, which would make this look pretty good, but just not quite what we want for the head. So let me see if I can get this thing. There we go. Whew. So the next step in doing this suit, we're going to cut this head off, take these teeth off, and then see where we're left, okay? It leaves nothing to the imagination, that's for sure. I am wearing shorts underneath here because I'm not quite that brave. But yeah, I think this is a good base layer anyway. At least I think it'll work for a little bit anyway. So let me do some more modifications to this, and then we'll see where we are. All right? All right, I'll be right back. All right, so now I got that head cut off. I took those teeth off, and we still have a little bit of problem right here. But I think the next step in our development of this is going to be, we'll fix this gap. Because kind of what we want to do is have that hood or head and with the jaw piece, and then have this covered a little bit. And then we'll be all orked up. And there's a couple different masks other than the one that we already have, and this is one of them. I got this on Amazon. It's pretty cheap, just because we're going to mess this up pretty good. And we're going to take this lower piece out. We got to trim out the eyes a little bit because as you can see, it's a pretty good looking mask. But we do need to do a little work. And then with the jaw piece, which is another little cheap Amazon find, with the jaw piece going on, it does give that whole orc face. Now I do need to do some trimming right here around the eyes, and then we'll have makeup underneath that. And then we gotta do something with the neck. And there's a couple different things that we're looking at. Either a cloth wrap, a leather collar, or something very similar to that to cover this up. We'll put a little bit of makeup up here. And what I did with the back was I added a pull string, much like in a scuba suit, so you can reach and grab it and pull it up. And once we put the rest of the costume on, you'll kind of miss it and you won't see it, okay? So, really, both these things are pretty cheap and easy to do. It is going to be awful warm, okay? So, but one of the things that we thought about the collar, a friend of mine who does other stuff has built these leather collars for, this is actually, I think, this is supposed to be Klingon for Star Trek. And it's kind of a leather faux collar, and that will cover that up. And then, with the mask and the jaw piece, other than the eye makeup underneath here, you're not going to be able to see a lot of flesh, if any. Even if we turn all the way around, once we have our costuming on, you're not going to see anything, okay? So, here's our basis. I think this will work okay. And then we'll build out from here into that Highland Orc, okay? All right, let me be right back. So, from here, what we want to do, let's take a look at our sketch again. You know, with the socks and shoes, okay, we're going to wear kilt hose, and we want to do this full kilt, and then maybe a vest with our gambeson and our sacks, or our dirk and broadsword. But really what we kind of want to do is we want a lot of this green skin to be showing through, because that's the point. You know, so we want our arms bare, so we're kind of looking for that vest look or something like that. And I've ordered a couple patterns online, and they should be in this week, and then we'll start building that costume. But we can kind of get started. We do have this shirt that we talked about earlier, and it's really kind of a nice shirt, but it's very heavy. And probably what I'm going to do is cut the sleeves off of this and wear that as my overshirt. Okay, and instead of my small kilt, I'll probably put that to the side and go with the full Monty, so to speak, the great kilt. And let me do some modifications to that shirt, and then we'll see what that looks like, and then we'll go ahead and put on the great kilt over the top of that to see just how close we're getting to this. Okay? All right. So now with the sleeves cut off, and I did cut the collar off too, just to kind of show a little bit more. This is a really rough looking shirt. I think it goes very well with this. The next thing we're going to do, we are going to put on hose, and I'll do that real quick just to show you what that would look like. So now, I do kind of have that kilt hose look to it, and I got my shirt, and I think the next thing is try to get this kilt on, okay? And this is a full kilt. You know what, let's do the small kilt first, and see what that looks like, okay? Alright, now I do have the kilt on now, and you can see that the green legs are underneath it, and yeah, I think this looks okay. I think it looks alright. What we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put that collar back on, which I think will add to it, and I'll put the hood, or put the mask and the jaw back on, and just to see how we're looking so far. I think it's looking pretty good. I kind of like this hood, or I kind of like this. It's kind of a leather collar. I mean, it could be worked as armor. So yeah, I think it would look okay. I really do need to cut those holes out just to see a little better. And I did notice that the beard is coming down on this one side, so I just need to glue that back on. Maybe tuck it underneath there. So maybe spirit gum or something like that. So this is basically a kilted orc. I am basically a Highland Orc at this point. Makeup under the eyes, of course. A little bit of touch up here and there. But I have my green skin, I have my tusks, and I am in a kilt. And really there's not much more I need to do. If I really wanted to, I guess, I could add to this look just a touch. And either throw another vest over the top of this, or just wear this vest alone over the kilt. I think it looked fine. And then we add our weapons and armor to that. And armor and weapons are going to be the next thing, okay? But really, if you're going to do the small kilt, which is a lot easier. This is a pretty good look, and it works pretty well. So let me go ahead and try to get this great kilt on, and then we'll see what it looks like, okay? I'll be right back. All right, now see, with the full kilt, with the brooch on the shoulder, I think we're looking pretty good. I kilted this inside. So on the outside, if you were going outside to lay the kilt out and actually plait it, or put the creases in, put the folds into it the right way, I did it in here pretty quickly. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think it'll work pretty good. Let me get the rest of the stuff on. Let me put the collar on and the mask and the chin piece, and then see where we're setting. Because I think we're doing pretty good. And then the last piece of this would, of course, be the sword, baldric, and shield. But that goes with the weapons and armor, and I want to do that in a different film. So let me put this other stuff on. So we got the neck piece. Then we got the mask. And other than the eye makeup, I think we're about done with basic costuming for the High Orc. So, not sure about the red socks. We'll have to take a look at those and see if that works okay. But other than that, I think we're looking pretty good. What do you think? Once again, this is that morph bodysuit and large kilt with a great kilt, a shirt, kilt hose, and boots. We've got a mask, we've got our jaw piece, and our throat piece. And I think we're pretty good. What do you think? So, I think we'll go outside and do a bit of filming out there, maybe in part 2, with the weapons and armor. You have to enunciate a little bit with this mask, but other than that, I think we're looking pretty good. So, I'm going to cut this off, and then we'll go do some editing, and then I'll start working on the next part of this video. I'll see you later, okay? What are you looking at, you bloody Elvish bastard? Bloody Elvish bastard! No? Alright.